guys, so this week we might have 3 videos coming. I'm not sure. I haven't decided yet if I'm gonna do Stephen King Saturday this week. The only reason I wouldn't is because I have 2 movies that are in theaters that I really want to review. Usually I do about 2 videos a week, so we're gonna shoot for 3. If not, I hope you guys don't mind that I'm skipping Stephen King Saturday again because of these 2 films. And that would be Lights Out, which we're gonna talk about today, and The Purge Election Year, which I saw both in a week. I do apologize for not getting these reviews up sooner, but hopefully you still want to hear my thoughts, even though I'm pretty sure they're still in theaters by the time this is going up. I don't know. As I said though, today is all about Lights Out. Now this was my most anticipated film of the year, and with that comes a lot of hype. Like, I was really excited, like so excited. I hadn't been that excited probably since Harry Potter, so it was a lot for it to live up to, and I kind of blame myself for letting it get to that point. Now before we go full on into the review, I have to mention probably what's gonna, did I say that right? Probably. What's going to be the most anticipated film of mine for the entire year, like as a whole, overriding Lights Out, and that would be Blair Witch. Now first of all, they followed me on Twitter, which how cool is that? Now I am gonna do a whole video on this because even though it's not even out yet, it's not a review, I'm just gonna do a video talking about it because I'm very passionate about the Blair Witch Project. It's one of my favorites. It's did so much for the horror genre, and I think I really need to do a video talking about why people need to like this movie and my thoughts on the sequel and this upcoming sequel. But today we're talking about Lights Out. So this is actually based on an original short film by David Sandberg, and I will link it down below if you haven't seen it yet. It came out in 2013 and it was super popular, and I'm obsessed with that short film. Like, it is my favorite piece of art thing that I've ever seen. It's my favorite short horror thing I've ever seen. So David Sandberg was given the opportunity to create that into a feature-length film. One of my critiques for this film right off the bat was the story. I found that the trailer painted it kind of weak. I was like, okay, the story doesn't look great, but the scares look good, so hopefully it kind of makes up for it. This is probably also the shortest movie I've ever seen in theaters. It's 1 hour and 20 minutes, and it felt like an hour. Now, I personally would not have done better. I'm not here to bash David Sandberg by any means, because I couldn't do better. I'm not gonna lie, I could not. I'm very impressed with what he created and how he developed the original short into a feature-length film. However, I had my issues with it. The storyline was this family basically, and the daughter was estranged from her mother. The dad had passed away earlier on, and the mother has some mental health issues, and the little boy, her half-brother, was still living with the mom. And the brother started to experience some things that the sister had gone through earlier on. Basically, the mother was kind of being haunted by Diana, which is the spirit of her friend that she met in this institution that she was in. The institution did some experiments on Diana and she died. And that's kind of why she is afraid of light, or you can't see her in light, is how she died was being exposed to light because she had this like skin condition. So I wasn't a fan of that, actually. I didn't like the plot that much. That being said though, the scares were so cool, and I watched this one video, and if I can find it I'm gonna link it below because it is so cool, but it's basically commentary of how they created some of the effects. And David Sandberg used mostly practical effects. He did not want to use a lot of CGI, so that's what they did. And I can appreciate some practical effects, and I'm glad we're going back into that realm in the horror world because I feel like we got a little wrapped up in CG for a little bit, and I know some things require CG, but the more practical effects, the better in my opinion. Oh, also fun fact, the house that they used in this movie is the same that they used in Ouija. And David Sandberg was actually hired on to direct Annabelle 2 because he did such a good job on this film, so that's pretty cool. I do like his directing ability, and his use of lighting was super cool. One of the effects that they used was they couldn't get the lighting right on Diana's eyes. They wanted her to have eyes like that you could see through the dark. They looked up like reflective contacts and stuff like that, and then he found out that the movie that he was looking into had actually used CG for that, and he was trying to stray away from that. So he bought reflective tape, right? And he put the tape in little circles on the eyeballs and then had like an iPhone light over here, or like just a small light so the eyes would reflect, which I think is amazing. The little details in this film are really, really cool if you know what you're looking for. As I said, the scares were really good. I honestly was a little scared. I wish they did a few less jump scares. Like, some of the jump scares were a little bit lame. Oh, and some of the dialogue was really cheesy, and a lot of this movie was predictable. Now, for a first film as a directorial debut, this was really good. And I give this movie like a 7 out of 10 because I did like the scares and Diana as a character. I just felt the storyline was lacking a little bit, and then the dialogue was a little weak. And you kind of get that vibe from the trailer if you've seen the trailer. I'm not going to go into the ending because I think that should just be left up. I wasn't really impressed by the ending though, just know that. I would see this movie in theaters though because I think he deserves it. He is an amazing artist, and I will link his channel down below, Pony Smasher. It's really good. He has a bunch of shorts on there, including his wife. Definitely check out his channel for more short horror, and he actually does some behind the scenes on how he makes some of these things, and it is just mind-blowing. Let me know your thoughts on this film down below. That's kind of all I have to say about it. My roommate actually might do his own review on Lights Out, so if you want to know his opinion, down below I will link it. If you want to hear someone else's opinion about it, go check it out. Make sure to leave some movie requests down below, and I hope you enjoyed, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Just came in